Test 1 2 1 2. Let's go. Oh,
Alrighty, so it is official.
this is official, guys. This is the very official video podcast down here in a brand new studio. Guys, welcome to Smoker J with Frankie J, myself, Frankie J, my co-host Rami, the DJ,
Yes,
the man
sir.
that put this together. I'm telling you guys right now, we have so much we want to talk about, but we only have about maybe 25 minutes to do this introduction. So you guys have to stay tuned. You know what? Let's do the cliche. Follow, subscribe, hit that bell, get
Smash that
notified,
like button.
do it all because you guys, this is the very first episode. This ain't the last one. There's like 9, 10 more coming this season. We got some major surprises, and I don't know. We're just gonna talk some shit right now and just
Yeah,
get things
special
together.
shout out to anybody watching from our 420 special. So this is our first episode. This is the night before 420, 419 Toledo
Yep.
Day. And we're doing crazy stuff tomorrow. Our 420 episode is going to be absolutely lit once it drops. But we're going to be dropping this episode on 420 to get things started. We have a couple dispensaries sponsoring us. We're going to be talking to a lot of people in line. We're going to be doing a lot of giveaways and interviews, all kinds of stuff. So if you're tuning in from the 420 event, welcome. And
And you
yeah,
might be
so
on YouTube.
yeah, so the next couple days here, we're gonna get that edited, put together, depending on how much content we actually lock in. It's probably gonna be a longer episode, but definitely longer than this one. But yeah, so welcome. Make sure you like, subscribe, see yourself on here. If you got one of our handy dandy flyers, if we're doing flyers, if we remember to print it out,
If we can get ready.
if we can get everything ready in time. It's been a real
uh,
crunch. This has been a real
you guys
crunch.
have no idea of from the time this came idea of starting this podcast came out February 18th, 2023. We start the build about 2.5 weeks ago.
Yep, two and
two
a
and a
half
half
weeks.
weeks ago. So that takes us about mid March. Meantime, I've been to Miami. Rami's heading out to where you heading?
I'm going to Costa Rica, Florida, and Texas. So I'm gonna be gone for a little
Nice.
bit. Gonna be on the flight editing videos, so that's exciting. Something to kill some time.
So see, we've had our ups, hit some obstacles, but we made it though. We're here filming this actual episode to put our very first video on the page, um, and to start this journey. So we're excited. Um,
So we'll start off with if you have something, go ahead and roll it up. We're gonna get started here. And welcome to Smoke a J with Frankie J. So that's
I'm
what we're
Frankie
gonna do
J.
today.
Um, well, as we get ready to spark this up, I think what we're going to talk about, because we really didn't, we're kind of on the fly with this one. Um, we do have a full production. We have been talking about planning and getting everything for our very first episodes. Using the iPads with our keynotes. But this was the very first one that we wanted to just introduce ourselves and just, I guess, top of the head, so you guys know who we are, um, and what we plan on doing this season. So
Yeah.
go ahead and
So
spark it up and I'll introduce
get her
myself.
started. Yeah, go for it.
So my name is Frankie J. You guys know me as DJ Frankie J. Born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, and have been in this nightlife for, God, I'm gonna show my age here, for over 30 years. From Chicago, Toledo, anywhere from clubs to corporate events to weddings. We have been doing it, running photo booths and displays and audio production. Um, Married to a beautiful queen. Um, my wife is amazing, and we have a wonderful son who is. And this is really why we started this, and to explain why
Gonna be a lot of
cannabis.
coughing on this audio.
Oh, it
Just
is.
heads up.
But why we actually promote cannabis, and it's more a medical because of our son. As I mentioned, my wife and I have a son who is will be 10 in July. He's autistic and blind, and the very first kid at his age, at the age of 6, 4 years ago, to receive his medical card. So cannabis for us in this household is all about medicine, and it is a lifestyle, especially for my son. And I've been waking and baking since I've been 13, and I took about 10 years off. Got back in it just because, but whatever my son does, I'm gonna do it with him. So I'm right there, right holding his hand in this journey. But hell, I love smoking again. It's
Yeah,
great.
I definitely think it's a huge factor. Because I knew you for a little while now, and I definitely see a big difference in Taryn, as far as when you guys started incorporating cannabis into his medication, and everything is closely followed with him. Everything is properly dosed and very direct, very light to help him with his conditions, and you can see a huge difference. He's in less pain. He's less anxious. He's more vocal, and I feel like the
It's
communication is
not
better.
cure. It's not cure.
No,
But being autistic, blind, having all these other complications medically wise, I would say it has brought him down to a level where we can, like you said, communication, patience, and everyday life just makes it easier. So, yay, the canvas, medical
yeah.
canvas.
So yeah,
Yeah.
my name is Rami the DJ, aka Rami Kareem is my government name. And if you can't tell, that is actually a colored name. I am Middle Eastern. My father is from Palestine, and my mother is white as it gets, white as Mayo, mid Michigan raised. But I was born and raised in Toledo. And cannabis in the Arab culture definitely isn't looked upon in a positive light. And that's kind of one of the things I want to kind of help incorporate and change that, because a lot of the younger Arab community, you'd be surprised, people do smoke, people do enjoy it. It's a good relief. But personally, throughout high school, growing up, I grew up in that kind of light of um, religiously and culturally, it's against marijuana. And so the only kids that I knew in middle school, high school that smoked were all kind of like them burnout kids. And so it's kind of just the same reflection of what I was taught. That kind of marijuana dulls you, slows you, kind of,
The devil's lettuce.
yeah, it just kind of is a distraction. And don't get me wrong, um, neither of us are in the sense of you can smoke as much as you want every day, 24/7, and not get anything done. Um, until high school, I was against weed. I thought weed was terrible. I thought weed was a waste of time and money. And then once
Was that because of your culture?
it was like I said, it was part of the culture. It was part of the kids that I knew that did smoke in high school were burnouts. The same kids that are burnouts. So don't really have a job, don't have a car. They smoke cigs. They use dip tobacco, all kinds of stuff. Just the bad kids, you know what I mean? And that's definitely more of, no offense to you, since you grew up in a different situation, but like I said, it was more of a reflection of what I seen around me, rather than what I had experienced of hanging out with people that smoked and stuff. And my senior year, for an advanced English class, I got put on the side, just randomly assigned. We had two teams for every category, and I just happened to get pro legalization of marijuana. And my two uh, uh, classmates that were supposed to be with me, they did nothing. I had to do the entire project by myself. I had an A in the class. I didn't want to mess that up. So I was like, I'll just do the work. I'll do the debate. I like debating. It's fine. With an Arab dad, you get good at arguing. So, and that's really when it kind of opened me up to the world of the benefits of marijuana. I did a lot of research. Frankie knows this. Anybody knows me knows this. Is I am a tech geek. I'm an information geek. I like learning anything I can as far as practical things goes.
The man is technology. I can verify that.
Don't come at me with no algebra 2, because if I can't process that in my real life, like, my brain won't accept it. Um, but yeah, so one thing that had also happened is in high school, I ended up sustaining an injury. I was the president of the Red Cross Club at my school, and so we had a big canned food donations. Long story short, I thought a box was empty in the back of a cargo van, and I reached in a jerking, twisting motion the way you exactly not supposed to do, and pulled that bitch with all my might, thinking it was a box with 4 or 5 cans in it, and ended up being completely full. And that gave me a severe spinal cord injury, as well as some muscular damage, because I just kind of thought I hurt myself. And I mean, you deal with it. You deal with it. Your parents are busy. You're in high school. They kind of think you're BSing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I never got checked for that injury for months and months, and that caused a lot of incorrect muscle growth, where everything that tore was growing together improperly, and so there was a lot of permanent damage. Um, I keep saying long story short, and I'm not making it any shorter. But
They'll get there.
my condition is called severe lumbar radiculopathy. And
Damn.
when the doctor said that, I was like, that sounds ridiculous.
That sounds like I'll never be able to
It
pronounce
sounds like
that.
I made it up. That's the worst part about it. It's
I'll
like
never be able to pronounce that. I'll tell you that.
somebody, like the first guy to say like, "Hey, I'm gonna call this disease Asperger's." Like it sounds made up. It's a very serious thing, but it sounds made up. And with all the research I was doing, it really intrigued me about marijuana, because at the time, the only way I could be in or not be in enough pain to actually go to school, do things, and move, was I was given, for an unspecified amount of time, I was giving 800 milligram muscle relaxers 3 times a day,
Mm.
and to a 17-year-old, 140-pound dude, wiped me, wiped me. Actually, I was at dinner with a couple of my friends from my old school, and I was telling them about this, and they didn't. I never really opened up to them in high school about this. I was very insecure about it, because it was I was in a lot of pain. I was in sports as well, and it was kind of like, you just got to deal with it, bro. You can't act like like a sissy in front of the homies, especially when it's on your team with kids you grew up with. And I told him about this, like, yeah, I actually stay in I have an actual condition. It causes, nerves to be oversensitive or not sensitive at all. There are parts of my back where you can poke and I'll feel nothing, and you poke the other part and my whole side will twitch. Um, it's it's crazy. Once I seen the benefits of marijuana, um, it really intrigued me. I didn't smoke immediately then. I had graduated, and I had always told myself, I just I want to make it through high school, especially going from private to transferring to public. As far as peer pressure and stuff goes, that you know how that is. But I was like, I want to wait till after high school, wait till college till I try this and experiment with it, just to kind of make sure I had that self control where I wouldn't, find, I was still growing up, like stuff like marijuana is the gateway drug, marijuana is addicting, stuff like that. And so it was definitely game changer the first time I smoked. And once I started regularly, maybe even every once a week with some friends, it made a huge difference. My muscles were a lot more relaxed. I wasn't having spasms nearly as much. A lot of the pain was taken away, or even at the bare minimum on the bad days, it was a good distraction from that pain, which is a slippery slope. But that's what we're here to kind of discuss. So that's my main reason for use, as well as nowadays is definitely like a good social aspect, which is what this is all about. I hope you guys are smoking with us at the moment.
See, I am completely opposite. If we want to get in depth, let me get a couple minutes in here and say, if anybody's ever watched Shameless, I always say they owe my family
You
royalties
do.
because
You talk
my
about your life being
family
shameless.
is just like the Gallaghers, okay? And drug usage, I would say cannabis is by far probably the best. So I've been waking and baking since I've been 13 years old. And I remember at that time at 13 is 89. So 1989, 90, smoking weed, and I just remember everybody was just looking at you. You could smell it. And this wasn't the best weed. It's not like it is right now. We're talking some
Right.
dirt brick fucking Mexican hockey puck like seeds that you gotta take your paper and you got tilt it and you shake it and just seeds, all the seeds come
And you
down.
know what's crazy is people that smoked in the '60s will say the same thing about your time era. Like, whoa, this is crazy. But nowadays it's to a scientific concentrate level.
It was two types. It was a good brick or just some swag that was just some bullshit. You know it was bullshit. So usually we got some good stuff. Red hairs, really dark. It was great. Um, real sticky, especially the skunk weed, real sticky. And I just remember always with everybody. Man, we smoked out cans, apple cores, wherever we can think of. Oh, this will make a
Hey,
perfect
you
thing. I
gotta
hit it.
do what you gotta
We
do.
hit it.
You gotta do what you
Walked to
gotta do.
school after school. Stole my dad's stash. That's the first time I ever smoked some opium. 'Cause I knew he had weed up in the top drawer. He had some red brick opium. That's a whole nother session right there. But man, um, so it's always been a part of me growing up. And then I did take that break, and I'm be honest with you, the break was nice. The break was nice, and it was a break from everything. But cannabis was I think from the time I was 13 to 25, 24, it was a daily thing every day. It doesn't matter what, if I drank, if I did party or anything, I always smoked cannabis every day. I always had at least a dime bag on me every day. So here I am. Now I cut it out. I go without it. And at that time, I think at that time I'm leaving the campus and leaving it alone. Kush was coming out, and hydroponics was a big thing, and you start seeing more of these very exotic strains from High Time magazine, and it's just like, man, there nothing around here sold. There was no dispos.
Yeah,
There
it was
was
kind of like early of street networking.
early,
Where
early. You heard about Humboldt County, and you heard about Colorado, and if you want the good stuff, you have to go there and everything like that. So or Texas and Mexico. That's where you're getting it from, right? There was no Michigan.
bricks.
There was no, your neighbor next door is just got some amazing shit. There was nothing like that. Um, and then to go into a bong, or not a bong, but like a head shop and say the word bong, you gotta turn around.
Tobacco
You
pipe.
have to
Yeah,
you have to turn around. You have to
to
turn
this
around.
day, I'd be like, hey, I'm looking for this piece for my bong, and they're like, okay, you gotta leave.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, have a sign or something up, like, you know what I mean? That was
It's,
like,
it,
obviously, if you learn after getting kicked out, like,
but it's so more open now. So now coming back in, and now I remember smoking my first. Here's a good story for the first episode. Where we at? We got a couple minutes. All right, make this real quick. So I walk into. I'm not gonna mention his name, but I walk into his house, and I swear to God, I smelled 1993. It was this weed that smelled like 1993. It brought me back. It hit me with so much memories, and I'm like, and at this time, I'm we got my son this car, so I'm more into edibles. I'm microdosing. I'm doing like 10 milligrams. Gummies or something that's fruity. I'm like a kid Willy Wonka store. Oh, let me try this. Let me try it. You got popcorn. You got this.
just sampling, like
I'm
Baskin
sampling
Robbins.
edibles and I'm just eating. I'm building this tolerance up. Not so much smoking though. So I smelled this flower and I walked in and I swear to God, it smelled like some stuff from 1993. And I said, "Bro, what is this?" And he was like, "Oh, that's my special shit." And I'm like, all right, I gotta try it."
So are you saying just because
So
it was like an original strain, or are you saying just because it
the
smelled
smell,
like the
the the
brick
the
weed that
the,
you
the
used to
brick,
smoke?
yes, that brought me back, and I'm
Hey
like,
man, and you smelled it and you were just like, beautiful. You like
you
that? I've
you
been waiting.
you
I've been
been
waiting.
waiting,
I've
huh?
been waiting.
You've been waiting just to hit
I'm
this
like, I've
button.
half figured out these buttons so far because it's a brand new system and it's just
So
released.
you
It's
you
like,
just okay.
I know the chime one. I had to look and double check because
he just he had some
it's been
flair
a
to my story.
it's been a rush to get this done in the time frame that we set. It's crazy how much we got
Wait,
done.
you just wait till the second episode, but I said I have to hit this. So I put it into. He was hitting it on the bong, and I put it into the bong, and I took a hit, and it tastes like 1993, bro. I sat there and like, okay, I'm high. I'm liking this. I said, let me get a quarter off you. He was like, go ahead and take it. So I went home. I actually went to the store. I ain't gonna lie. I'm 47 years old. And I can't roll a joint. So I went and got me a roller, just like back in the days.
And you guys will see this. I take rolling as a serious art
He
form.
does. He
I
does.
love it. It is relaxing.
The
for me.
man's got some major skills when
And
it
this
comes to
man
his
always
rolling.
says he can't roll a joint, but he never tries.
So back to the story though. We ain't gonna talk about this right now. So back to the story. So I go home. I roll up. My wife's, what are you doing? I said, I'm about to smoke this. She's like, you're smoking? I was like, this shit is amazing. It makes me feel like I was a kid again. So I'm hitting this. And then she's like, we're going to the dispo, get some stuff for our son. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go up there with you. I think I'm gonna try some flour. So I went in there and the guy's talking to me, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you know," and I didn't want to look like a dumbass.
So this is like your first trip to the
First
dispo?
trip to the dispo to get some flour, so I don't want to look like a dumbass. I want to look like, like I know what I'm talking about. Weeds usually bet my life, and so I'm looking at this. And I'm like, I'm smelling it, like, oh yeah, it smells good. And I'm like, I'm not even looking at the THC count. I'm not thinking about if it's runts, if it's
Yeah.
what it is. I'm just like, that smells real good. I think I'll take that.
That's dank. That's
Yeah,
dank.
I'll just take that. And I looked at it, and I can't. I swear, I can't remember what the strain was, but it was really nice and lime green. It was almost something I saw in the High Time magazine. I was just like, I'll take that. So I'm nervous going home. I'm
I'm gonna
nervous.
say something from Sour Diesel. A Sour Diesel offset, maybe?
A little bit. No, you know what? No, I take it back. It was a like a lemon pepper.
Okay, yeah. Solid. I like that.
So I go and I get to the house. I got my roller, my papers. I roll up, and man, let me tell you, I was high as shit. I enjoyed myself. I felt my whole body was relaxed,
So
and my tolerance said, "Welcome back,
let me ask you this. What, because I don't think we talked about this. When was the first time you ever smoked? Do you remember what that was like?
bro." Told you I'm 13 years old. I had a buddy named Terry Fenter. He's been smoking with his older
Shout
brother.
out Terry.
Shout out to Terry. He's been smoking with his older brother. He said, "I got some weed." I said, "Man, weed." He's like, "Come on." I was like, "All right." So we put it into a can, into a pop can, squished it up, poked some holes, made a little chamber on the end. He packed down there. I'm hitting it, coughing my lungs out. I remember my dog. I had German Shepherd, half Husky, named Bogey. Dude was a beast. Put his paws on your shoulders and be above your head. And I fought my dog for an apple core because I was that high and I was that hungry. And I was like, man, and I'm laughing and I'm hugging my dog. And I was so like, it was like a dream type, like this is great. I'm like, fuck yeah, put another one in that can. I was like, come on. And ever since then, now my dad been smoking. He saw me smoking. He sat down with me. And I've been smoking with my dad since probably about I was like 13 and a half years old. I think it was about 4 months in, 3 months in when I was smoking when my dad caught me. And ever since then, he smoked with me. He taught me everything. 3-finger quarters. This is what you do. This is put it in the freezer, bring it back, put some orange peels in there, bring it back. Man, I'm telling you, my dad was like, come on. And all I did was smoke with him ever since growing up.
Man, I doubt my dad will ever watch this, so I'm gonna say this. So my dad, you met him.
Yep.
He's very strict. He's very religious. He doesn't. He kind of just acknowledges I smoke. Kind of. He never really saw any hints until I accidentally dropped a packaged joint out of my pocket as I was leaving my uncle's house, and he happened to be the one to pick it up and be like, "Oh, what's this?" And then he thought it was just like a hand rolled cigarette, so he put it in his mouth jokingly and starts like talking and stuff, and then he starts smelling it. Meanwhile, I'm hearing this from my brother because I'm down the street thinking, "Okay, I'm about to go to my boy's house and smoke with my joint that I brought."
Mm.
Thought I left it in the car. It was in my jacket. Fell out. That was first indication. He kind of knows that I smoke now. He's not happy about it, but I know for a fact my father would definitely benefit if he gave it a chance. Maybe when he's older and a little more relaxed, he might. But he's got like heart conditions, and his stress level is insane. He doesn't manage it well, in my opinion. I'm not a certified psychologist or anything like that, but I
Well,
think marijuana would be. It's kind of one of those cases where he has his morals and his opinions, and I have to respect that, even though I know how much it would benefit him. It's kind of about just same for what I mean, the type of people we want to bring into
I
this
was just
thing,
gonna
like
say
even
that.
people that don't smoke, just to kind of understand it is a medication. It gives you a different thought process. It's not good to always be thinking different, but when you can smoke, you're trying to be creative. All kinds of
That's
stuff
what we
we've
want to bring
done.
to his channel. And you're talking about your dad may never watch this. I think he may. I think he may one day watch this. see this first episode, see a
I'm
couple
sorry.
episodes.
Please don't be mad.
It's a great thing.
Yep.
And this is what this, we've been talking with the owners of these dispos and talking about what our vision is for, is to bring in one, oh my God, the dispos, dispensaries. I call them dispos. Everybody calls them dispos. I know that now. Um, inside joke. We'll tell you about it later.
Yep.
But
Subscribe to hear that joke.
yeah, subscribe to hear that joke. But definitely though, we want to bring and educate. We want to open people's eyes, open their minds up about cannabis. It's not just a gateway. It's not the devil's lettuce. It's not all the propaganda that you've heard in the past from the 50s, 60s. The Reagans, just say no era. None of that. It's still classified as a drug such as heroin. It's up there.
It's insane.
It
It
at
really
one
is.
time it was legal and it was used for medicine. It is a natural herb growing. If you use it for recreational, you use it in a way where people are drinking. I'd rather smoke than drink.
Oh, 100%.
So people think we might bring this perspective of the industry from medical, recreational, and business aspect of it. That's what this podcast is about. You're gonna get to know more about us, our past, our future, our friendship, our business, our families. You'll see our friends on here, guests from the
Yeah,
Dispos.
and we're kind of running short on time here, so basically, yeah, we're gonna be bringing a lot of kind of just whole entertainment value about
Yep.
information, about business, about the aspects, legalization, all
That's,
kinds of
that's why I
things.
transitioned to this. I
We're
was thinking at the
mixing in
time.
nice. You're getting good.
Thank you.
We're mixing in a lot of fun. We're gonna have activities and challenges with our guests. I think a big thing is getting people comfortable and then catching them off guard, but in a fun way, not like in a Ellen way where there's somebody's gonna pop out from behind the wall and scare the absolute piss out of you.
Could happen.
Could happen,
Could happen.
depending on which wall. Maybe that one.
Could happen. That would be funny.
Yeah.
You never know.
Well, you
You
hit
never know
home.
what's going to happen, but we do appreciate you guys tuning in, watching towards the end. If you guys have watched towards the end here and you guys have seen this message right now, go ahead in the comments and say, you know what? I want to smoke with Frankie J.
Yeah.
And
Tell
let us
us what
know.
you want to
Let
see,
us know
what
what
you
you
want
want
to
to,
do.
yeah, what you want to see, what you want to do, what you want the dispos to bring in, what you're looking for. You might travel to Cali and got and smoked something and caught something in one of their dispos. If you went to Vegas, you might seen something there that we don't have in this area. Let us know. We'll kind of take that on and pass it on and see what we can do.
Yeah, so we have a lot of dispensary owners, managers
Yep.
coming as
Bud
special
tenders.
guests. Yep, and then we're gonna do episode for bud tenders, and then we're gonna do a follow up episode or part two with bartenders and kind of compare those back and forth. You know, what are the similarities? What are the
We're gonna
differences?
have
And
a group of DJs.
yep,
Since we are
definitely.
DJs, that is our background. We're gonna have a group of our friends, our DJs. We're gonna have our partner. Before we do end this, we do have a partner, our DJ partner, Danny Paco, DJ Danny Paco.
Danny
Shout out to
Paco.
you. Yeah, which
We'll
which one you
see.
gonna hit?
I got that one.
That's that
We'll
little
see the air
backspin.
horn. The air horn got
What's this
moved.
one? What's this one? There you go, Danny Paco.
That's mean. That's mean. Hold on. What is
What's this?
is that a tambourine? Trombone. I'm sitting at
That's not you, Dan. That's not Danny Paco. Okay, that's
Okay, just
Rescue.
here. Jesus.
Yeah, I say it's my podcast.
Danny Paco. There we go. And with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. You made it through. I mean, you were somewhat entertained, and this is by far gonna be our most boring episode.
Is
So
we got a lot more we got turned on and we don't have them turned on. So
stay tuned, follow up, and thanks for smoking with us.
guys, thank you. Later.
Alligator.
Wild crocodile.
That was a good one. Made me smile.
In a while. I don't know.
That's a long turn of the dial.
As
Bro,
we
you
smoke
can't-
some Black and Miles.
Bro, that was not a good bar. You got defiled.
Then take it to the courts and you have it filed.